What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know, I was sitting here watching my man Game Time Brian doing his lunchtime chat and stuff. I just got back home for the scene of the crime of where we ended up losing. I was here. God, it just feels like yesterday. Interesting thing that's kind of happened since that game. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but we're not getting much stuff from the Dallas Cowboys. You know, we've had so much drama that's gone on. Other than Mike McCarthy's coming back, we haven't even heard a lot from Mike McCarthy. Steven and Jerry Jones are really missing in action. You're getting very, very little from those guys about what's going on. Micah did come in and basically say, my brother's comments are his and his alone. And then you got CeeDee Lamb, nothing from CD. Dak did, at least. Dak was the only one who accepted responsibility for that loss. And it's kind of crazy because, you know, Micah Parsons was the lion that roared, and we heard so much about him, from him all the time. And see, I am, again, I'm just Joe the fan. You know, I'm here broadcasting not from my mama's basement, from my basement or the red brick house, or, you know, sometimes in a sewer system or on a roof and stuff, because I am a true blue Cowboys life sentence, Cowboys for life fan. I don't know why I love them as much as I do. Maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm broken and just enjoy the drama that is the Dallas Cowboys. But of the posts that we heard from Micah Parsons, there were two. The one basically saying my brother's thoughts are his own thoughts. I love the Cowboys, the organization, and everything else, and knowing that he's about to get paid. The other was going after Skip Bayless. And see, this is where I think maybe, if there's any good thing, that maybe we're better off if we're not the ones front and center always talking. There's nothing worse than having Jerry and Stephen Jones doing all the talking about game plans and players and stuff. There's nothing worse than having, your lead dog out there befriending all these other players out there and justifying those guys and what's going on with them and stuff, and trying to be the media. I just need people to be focusing on football. I need, Jerry Jones, you just be the mogul that you are, the billionaire, and let somebody else take care of the football operations and stuff. Stephen Jones, you're a trust fund kid, man. Just enjoy the money and the lifestyle, okay? Show up on Sundays to be up in the booth and enjoy watching the game and the teams and stuff, because y'all are the owners. Y'all are supposed to kick back and let everybody else do the work. And now, finally, Skip Bayless has responded to Micah Parsons. Now, I have not seen this. I literally just got off the road here, putting up a video about Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Deron Bland, all being contenders for MVPs and Players of the Year. So let's listen to what Skip Bayless, the fakest Dallas Cowboy fan that I've ever seen. I'm sure he's going to try and throw Micah Parsons under the bus, if he hasn't already thrown his jersey in the trash. But the thing I will say about Skip Bayless is this. I know I don't get to Dallas as much as I would like to. I do tailgates and stuff every year at FedEx, and I, go to the draft and cheer on my Cowboys and go to the Hall of Fame when players go in and so forth. I show up for as many Cowboy events that I can. Now, Skip Bayless has a lot more means than I do. My money last year went to trying to save a historic 200-year-old house and didn't have a whole lot of money left over, disposable income, to be able to fly to Dallas and everything else. Skip Bayless is working for Fox Sports, and so he's got a lot more money than I do. But have you noticed how you never see Skip Bayless at training camp, even though he's the guy who said that Jerry Jones consulted him about the Herschel Walker trade? That, this guy who is this big Dallas Cowboy fan, that he's never at the games? That's where I kind of question it. The only time you see Cowboy paraphernalia is when he's throwing it in the trash. But be that as it may, let's hear what Skip Bayless has to say.
Okay, Micah, you take your shots, and I appreciate your shots because it's well within your right to take them. And now I will respond.
Here we go.
I've taken my shots. You take yours. Now I respond. You're welcome to respond back. But I'm going to start from the start. Micah's rookie year, I found him to be a revelation, one I did not see coming. In that draft, I wanted Patrick Surtain. I knew he'd be a perennial Pro Bowl cornerback, and he has established himself as just that. But Denver snatched him one pick ahead of the Dallas Cowboys. They might have been interested in J.C. Horn, who had gone 2 picks earlier to Carolina. But I wanted Pat Surtain. Gone. So Jerry made a shrewd move. Jerry said, okay, I'm going to trade back. And guess who my trade partner is going to be? It's going to be Philadelphia. As long as Jerry could trust Philly, would take Devontae Smith at 10, where Dallas sat initially. And they did. And Jerry traded back with Philly to 12. So then Justin Fields, most people thought, was targeted for Chicago. And that's took him at 11, which left at 12. Jerry Jones to take the best defensive player still ranked on his board, the highest ranked, and it was this kid out of Penn State named Micah Parsons. And before long, I was calling him Micah 11 from heaven. Before long, he was such a pass rushing revelation that we even went to our man DJ Steve Porter, who created the famed, or maybe infamous, I don't know, Tim Tebow music video, All He Does Is Win. You might remember that back in the day in 2011, took the nation by storm. DJ Steve is genius. And we did a Micah music video that we played often on Undisputed. And I got so carried away about Micah that I dared to put him in the same conversation with Lawrence Taylor. I said, he's got millions of miles to go, but he has the potential as a pass rusher to equal Lawrence Taylor, because I had never seen such speed and quickness at this size. Did not yet have his man body or his man strength. Lawrence Taylor was born, even when he was like 2 years old, he had grown man strength. But I'll take the blame for this. I overhyped. I leaped before I probably looked.
Oh, God. His podcasts are unwatchable.
I got carried way, way, way away. I couldn't help myself. I also immediately began criticizing the defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, for the way he utilized Micah, because he kept seeing Micah as a hybrid linebacker.
Okay, so what does this have to do with you being a fake-ass Cowboy fan and so forth? Are you just trying to trash Micah?
Regularly dropped him into pass coverage. I couldn't see it, couldn't take it, didn't stand for it, often criticized it. And did you see the other day? Interesting that Micah's brother took a shot at Dan Quinn by saying that the way Micah has been utilized in Dallas has been criminal. So, Micah, I had your back way before your brother had your back. But that
so now you're a family friend.
Cowboy fandom or lack thereof, as Micah suggests. No, Micah, I'm not a fake fan. I'm actually the opposite of a fake fan. A fake fan to me...
Watching that Dumbo?
Recording.
Well, I guess maybe, Micah, you define a Cowboy fan as somebody who will worship you blindly no matter how poorly you perform. Maybe that to you is a real fan.
Oh, trying to trash him now. Okay.
The truth is I'm too real of a fan. The truth is I'm the opposite of fake fan, because I'm a hard-ass fan. I am an overly demanding fan I'm a spoiled, rotten fan. I'm an extremely knowledgeable fan because I have known Cowboy greatness. I have covered years and years of Cowboy teams, having written 3 books about the Dallas Cowboys. I have known Too Tall Jones. I have known
Name
Harvey
dropping.
Martin. I have known Randy White. I have known the great Charles Haley. I have known the greatest pass rushers this team has ever known. I don't go all the way back to Bob Lilly, but I know all about Bob Lilly. Heck, I even know my close friend Pat Toomey led the Cowboys in sacks. 1973, went on to Buffalo, led them in sacks, and was their defensive player of the year. His first year in Buffalo, went to the Raiders, led them in sacks, and was known by Raider fans as Third Down Pat. I even know Pat Toomey, Micah. All of these players more productive in their day than you have been so far in your day.
That's it. That's it. I'm sorry. You know, here's the reality about Skip Bayless. And you know, I'm okay with Micah Parsons probably being pissed off in his feelings and hopefully going to turn that into something in a vengeance tour. That's what I hope for. Skip Bayless without somebody else, his podcast, I'm curious how his podcast do. That's his response to you're a fake fan, as I knew Ed Too Tall Jones and, you know, Bob Lilly. And, you know, here's what I can say. I remember seeing every single one of them playing. I remember when Tony Dorsett ran 99 yards on Monday Night Football. I remember the Hail Mary, watching it on TV. You know, we have had back in the day, because here's where I can tell you how old I am. It's a TV about this big. It's like the big screen TV, except the screen was only this big because all of it was wood cabinet. And I remember when we got a TV that didn't have a turn dial on it, it actually had a button. You push the button and it would advance one channel. Now, it wasn't digital because they hadn't come up with digital, but literally the numbers would turn. I guess it was like a spring, but it lit up. Oh, there you go. Oh, we changed the channels. And I remember watching football back in those days. I remember when the Miami Dolphins got their ass handed to it for the Dallas Cowboys' first Super Bowl. I remember when the Cowboys lost to the Steelers twice. I remember the redemption and against Denver. And remember, John Denver, who was they literally interviewed John Denver because, of course, his name was Denver. If he was going to be rooting for, you know, the Denver Broncos, it was the Orange Crush, so the Orange Crush soda and everything else. I remember those things, of course. I remember actually playing with Charles Haley at JMU and stuff. I remember falling out just a few days ago in pain and agony when my team lost. I remember driving with my friends to the draft in Dallas. I remember every single morning talking and trying to figure out ways for our Cowboys and stuff. I mean, I you know, some people will question whether or not I'm a Cowboy fan or not, but if you really know me and you look around here at my house and stuff, and even when they lose, I'm not throwing their stuff in the trash, okay? I did throw Jack's jersey across the room, but it's hanging back up. It ain't in the trash can. It ain't touching the garbage. Sorry, Skip. Micah was right. You are a fake fan. That shit you just put out there, trying to bitch slap him, basically saying you wanted Patrick Surtain and, you know, unfortunately, you know, I overrated you and everything else. Okay. Tell you what, in the NFL, I don't care who you are. I don't care how big or how small you are. If you get 13 sacks a season to start your career, you're pretty good. Is that the be all end all of his career? Does Micah have things to learn? Of course he does. Does Micah need help out there with like some linebackers and some other big defensive linemen? Yeah. So there we have it. Skip Bayless, as always, the jackass. Peace.